I came across one of the craziest stories I've ever read while doing research this week on the stimulus check and also on COVID and the human lung. And I just have to share this with my community. So there was a gentleman by the name of Artyam Sidarkin from Russia who was working out in the fields and one day started to have terrible chest pain and also shortness of breath. And what they found absolutely shocked me. Now, if you get queasy easily, or you don't like seeing parts of the human body, then I suggest turning this off. Later in this video, I'm going to show you something crazy. Well, after having shortness of breath, coughing up blood, his family said, you have to go to the emergency room. So he went in and they did a chest x-ray and his suspicions were confirmed. There was a large black mass sitting on one of his lungs. And his worst fear was that he was going to die of cancer. So he worked with his doctor and they were going to remove the lung. But before they did that, the doctor had a feeling to go in and do a biopsy. And he would actually try to cut out as much of the mass as he could through the man's esophagus and get clean margins and remove that so that they could see which of these rare lung cancers this man was dealing with. Now, this was not a heavy smoker. This was not like somebody that worked at a crazy chemical plant. So having lung cancer was definitely a giant shock to this man. Well, as they did the surgery and they pulled out this red mucousy tissue, the doctor cut into it, and in disbelief, he called over one of the nurses to verify that he was not hallucinating or going crazy. And what they found inside was a 5-centimeter spruce fir tree that had sprouted and was growing in this man's lung. He had the sapling of a fir tree growing in his lung. They were completely blown away. So he must have inhaled a seed, and because of that warm, wet environment, it started to grow inside of his lung. I mean, this is crazy, absolutely crazy. Now, let me know in the comments, when you were growing up, did your parents ever say to you, hey, make sure don't swallow those watermelon seeds because one could grow in your belly? Well, who knew that you could inhale a seed and have it start growing in your lung? Well, I hope that this video finds you well. This was just another one of those crazy stories that I came across that I had to share with my community. Are there any crazy medical stories or stories that you've heard? Let me know in the comments. Maybe it will be one of my next videos. Now, I'm curious, had you heard this story before? I hadn't, and I hope you enjoyed hearing this story. Now, before you go, make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. And as I let you go, I wish to remind you that you are amazing. I appreciate you being in my community, and I'll see you on the next video.